Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that may or may not be 5 minutes. Today in the news, seriously, Blizzard? In the latest suit filed against the company, which is insane that it's still happening and Bobby Kotick still has a job, an unnamed former employee targets both Activision Blizzard itself along with the employee's former manager, Miguel Vega. Activision Blizzard's failure to curb sexist and harassing conduct emboldened manager Miguel Vega to abuse, belittle, and insult Miss Doe, as they're calling her, Jane Doe, by making comments to her about oral sex, masturbation, and orgasms, threatening her job if she would not consent to sex, mocking her breasts, and commenting on other females' employees' attractiveness. Mr. Vega also repeatedly threatened to expose a compromising photo of Miss Doe, to which Blizzard responded, "We take all employee concerns seriously. When the plaintiff reported her concerns, we immediately opened an investigation, and Mr. Vega was terminated within 10 days. We have no tolerance for this kind of misconduct." But it shouldn't surprise you that Miss Doe says this was happening for years, and the company did nothing. The timeline appears to be that they first met in 2010 before she worked at Activision Blizzard, and they then formed an online friendship. This led to her sending compromising photos of herself to him, which she says she regrets, and by 2011 she had met her future husband and ended the friendship or whatever it was with Mr. Vega. You can chalk it all up to being young and stupid. However, in 2016, Mr. Vega got her a job at Activision Blizzard, and that is when things got really bad. At work, Mr. Vega repeatedly groped Miss Doe's breasts around a dozen times. On occasion, he would squeeze, grab, or poke her breasts, and she immediately recoiled at these unwanted advances. He often attempted to kiss her at work. All of Mr. Vega's sexual advances upon Miss Doe were unwelcomed. After each time she rejected him, he'd assure her that one day it'll happen, or one day you'll give in. And yet, while all of that was going on, in meetings, he would put down her ideas and belittle her and say that she had nothing good to add. The suit then says that at an office party in 2017, Mr. Vega walked Miss Doe to a vacant part of the office away from the party, and he asked her if she would give him oral sex if he were to whip it out right here. When asking for a raise, he said, "You know what you need to do." Even at one point asking about her home sex life and if her husband does it for her still. Just real creep shit. Now, Miss Doe, at the time, reported him to HR. This was back in 2017, mind you, which seems to go against the whole Activision Blizzard saying they handled it after 10 days thing that they said before. In fact, it wasn't until she complained again in August 2021 that anything was even done about it. And for those of you keeping track of dates at home, yes, this last little bit, when it all went down in August 2021, is after the initial lawsuit against the company for all the other allegations dropped in July 2021. So this reads less as Activision Blizzard doing the right thing and more, it's been a month after their biggest scandal ever, and this is something they're dealing with, and they're trying to just get it done and push it out of the way. This unnamed person, Jane Doe, is asking for a full jury trial and is taking both Mr. Vega and Activision Blizzard to court, seeking damages and lost wages and medical expenses and all sorts of stuff. So keep an eye on this story. Now for something a little less upsetting, a $1.2 billion metaverse that flopped. Last week, a tweet made the rounds claiming metaverse company Decentraland only had 30 active daily users, despite its market valuation at $1.2 billion. Now, to be clear, this metaverse isn't the metaverse. It's another metaverse on the metaverse with the metaverse. Understand? Well, after the tweet made the rounds and news stories broke about Decentraland, they created a blog claiming that the story was a lie. There are actually 8,000 people a day. For reference, according to Kotaku, 1.2 billion is 1/8 of Bethesda. Kotaku goes on to say that their math is a little jank. You might at first divide 56,697, the number of September's MAU, by 30, and come back with the number 1866, wrote Decentraland, acknowledging that is far from the 8,000 that they claim. A large number of Decentraland's users are repeat visitors. They are the Decentraland community and spend time on the platform on on a regular basis. So they're not actually counting unique visitors. Decentraland has 1,866 unique visitors a day. This is so sad, Kotaku goes on to say. I don't even know that I have the heart to snark about it. For their part, Decentraland went on to say, Decentraland's goal is to be a fun and entertaining platform for a thriving community that educates and onboards people to the philosophies and tech of Web3 while empowering creators with a capital C in the hope that when the masses realize why decentralization is important, a viable option will be available and the next iteration of the internet won't be monopolized by a handful of corporations. So to clarify with a capital C, what they're saying is, we don't like the way the internet is now. We hate that a few people control a lot of stuff. So what we're saying is, join us in the next version of the internet where we control everything. Cool. Speaking of cool, why don't you make your way over to youtube.com/coxclips. Check out all the amazing things we're doing over there. VODs and shorts and things from streams, but also more importantly, just random stuff like playing games with my mom or who knows what's going to end up over there. Probably a lot of great fun things. Anyway, that's it. Thanks so much. I'll see you all tomorrow for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.